What's up, guys? So as you know, I've made a countless number of videos on Marine Corps, military, all that, guys. But I don't think I maybe broke it down enough of how to actually become a Marine in the process, guys. I still get a lot of questions every single day of what's after this? Once I go to boot camp, what's after that? After this. So, guys, I'm going to squash all your little worries, guys. I have comprised this checklist that I'm going to give to you, so that way you can walk through, check off each little box. Once you get there, you know exactly what's going to be coming up next, guys. But I highly recommend taking out a pen and paper so you can make this checklist, and so that way you know exactly what's up next. First things first, you have to be at least 17, and with you being 17, you have to have your parents' permission to join. So you have to get a waiver signed by your parents and all that. If you're above 17, you don't have to worry about all that. But if you're at least 17 years of age and you have even the slightest doubt that you want to join the Marine Corps, you need to talk to a recruiter ASAP. So this is your first. So your first checking box is being 17, at least 17 years of age. Just your second box is talk to a recruiter. You need to talk to a recruiter. You need to sit down. You need to tell him exactly what you want from the Marine Corps. What exactly are you looking for, and all this stuff. Pick his brain, whatever he has, right? Sure, it's his job to sell you the Marine Corps, but you can kind of tell sometimes when somebody's selling you something and when they're actually trying to look out for you, right? So you just need to make sure that the Marine Corps is meeting your standards, right? Because this is your future, right? You're going to be signing over your life. So you want to make sure you're getting what you want out of the Marine Corps. And if not, that's perfectly fine. Go do your research, go talk to other branches, and whichever one, is the closest to meeting your standards, then that's the one you should join. The second little box you need to have is you need to pass the ASVAB. You can't get a job unless you pass the ASVAB. So you need to make sure you're studying for the ASVAB and doing all of that. There's countless number of resources out there. There's practice tests you can take online. You just type in Google practice ASVAB test, and that's what I did. I just took them all. I just took one each and every day before I went to go take my actual test. There's also a great book out there called ASVAB Book for Dummies, and it breaks down each section in the ASVAB, gives you great study tips. There's practice tests in that book and everything. That book is great. It's an awesome book. Highly recommend getting it if you're struggling with the ASVAB. But guys, you have to pass the ASVAB. And after that, now you have to, pass the MEPS portion of the process. So MEPS, all that is basically a medical screener. They do a background check and all that stuff. So you have to, and that's when you actually sign your contract for your job and all that stuff, and you're going to get sworn in and all that. So you have to pass that. Once you pass that, they're going to give you a ship date and all that stuff. Now, if you're still in high school, if you were me, I was still in high school when I had went through the whole process, and I was basically waiting to graduate and to ship out, right? So if that is you, then you have to still focus on graduating, because if you don't graduate, then you won't be able to go. You need that GED in order to go to boot camp, right? So I actually, I went to boot camp 2 weeks after I graduated, right? So if I had slacked off, which I kind of did, I was like, I'm going to Marine Corps, I was like, fuck school, I don't need school, and it's kind of, I regret that. I should have took it, still the same amount of seriousness that I had before I decided I wanted the Marine Corps. I should have, finished strong. But you have to, guys, because if you slack off, you get in trouble, or you don't graduate, then you're hurting your chances of going to boot camp, and you don't want that, guys. So make sure you still are focused on graduating. Once it's time or close to getting to graduate, guys, and you have a ship date and all that, guys, you still have to maintain a standard, right? We have, as a pulley, you take it's what's called an IST, right? So it's called an initial strength test, and basically it's like a lesser version of the PFT, which is what you qualify on every single year in the Marine Corps. And the IST is 1.5 miles. You do some crunches and pull-ups, and you have to be passing that in order for the recruiter to be like, okay, cool, you're ready to go to boot camp. And with that, you also have to be passing your weight standard, which is based off of your height. So you need to make sure before you go to boot camp, you are working out, you're maintaining the weight you're supposed to, you're trying to become fit if you're not, used to working out. And also, this is your time to start studying. And I have a video on things you can study before you go to boot camp that will help you out a lot. And this is also your time to clear your mind, get everything taken care of, that you want taken care of. You want to have a clear, mind. You want to be ready to work when you get to boot camp. So this is your time to do all of those things. Now time comes around where it's time for you to ship out. It's finally your day, to get on the plane, go to either San Diego, Paris Island, wherever you're going. So your day to go to boot camp, you're going to be going to boot camp. And then you're going to go through 13 miserable weeks of hell. And you're going to pass it. You're going to do great. You're going to become a Marine. After that, you get 10 days of leave, right? So you get 10 days home after you graduate boot camp. Now, this is where things start to get, people start to get separated, right? So everyone's process is the exact same, whether you're in the infantry, non-infantry, or your reservists. Everything's the exact same until you get to this point, right? After 10 days of leave, this is where everyone starts to separate. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to explain what an infantry side goes through, what the non-infantry side and reservists, right? So if you are an infantryman, once you get back from your 10 days of leave, you're going to be sent to ITB, which is where you're going to learn all your infantry skills. You're going to be assigned to your specific infantry MOS, because you do not sign a contract for a specific MOS in the infantry. You're just signing a contract that says 03XX, and the jobs you can get is in 0311, 03 freaking 31, 0341, 51, 52, all that. And at ITB is where you're actually assigned that MOS. So you're going to go to ITB. It's going to be 2 months long. After you graduate ITB, you're going to have an MOS, you're going to have a job, all that. Now you're going to be sent to the fleet, the actual Marine Corps, where you actually start doing your job. You're going to get sent to the fleet, and as soon as you get there, it's going to be like, bam, instantly start training. You're going to be doing what's called a workup. And a workup is how you prepare for a deployment. So that's when you're doing field ops, you're doing ranges, you're doing all these things, to prepare for your deployment. Then time is going to roll around to where it's time for you to deploy. You're going to get what's called pre-deployment leave. That means they're going to give you time to go home before deployment, spend time with your family, do all those things, take care of anything you need to take care of before deployment. You're going to do that. You're going to come back. You're going to go on deployment. It can be 6 months, 7 months, 8 months, however long it is. You're going to go on deployment. You're going to get back from deployment. You're going to go on post-deployment leave, so they're going to give you time to go home after you get back from deployment. And then you're going to do the same exact thing. Again, you're going to do a workup. You're going to get pre-deployment leave, deployment, post-deployment leave. And then after that, you're going to be either getting out or this is your chance to enlist. So as an infantryman, you are guaranteed at least a minimum of 2 deployments. So that's the infantry side. That's how that works out if you're an infantry. So now, if you are a non-infantryman, so that's like admin, supply, all those things, aviation, all that stuff, anything that is non-infantry, after your 10 days of leave after boot camp, you're going to go to MCT, which is where you're going to learn the basic level, freaking infantry skills. So you're going to learn, basically a really dumbed down version of how to be a 0311, a basic rifleman. Once you do that, it's going to be a month long. Then you're going to go to your actual job school. So whatever you signed your contract to be, you're going to go to that actual school after you graduate MCT. You're going to go to that school, however long it may be. You're going to graduate, and then you're going to get sent to the fleet. You're going to be part of the actual Marine Corps, and then you're going to start doing your job. Now this is where things might change. Either you can be attached to a infantry battalion, and you're going to be doing what the infantry's doing. You're going to be doing the workup, but you're not going to be going to the field. Of course, you're going to be doing what you need to do and what administrative stuff you need to get taken care of and all that stuff. You're going to be doing your job. But if you're attached to an infantry unit, you're going to get deployed the same time they get deployed. Now, if you're not attached to an infantry unit, if you're part of the headquarters and Marine Corps and all that stuff, you might not deploy for some years, right? So I deployed within my first year or so in the Marine Corps, and I'm also about to go on my second deployment. So with a non-infantry Marine, you might not get that deployment or 2 deployments in your first 4 years in the Marine Corps. You might only get 1. So that's all dependent on like I said, if you're attached to an infantry battalion or not. And you'll go through your years, however long you signed up for, and then it'll either be time for you to get out of the Marine Corps or re-enlist. Now you got the reservist side. So after reservists get back from their 10 days of leave, they're either going to go to ITB or MCT based on if they're an infantry, if they signed an infantry contract or they have that non-infantry contract. So they're going to go to ITB or MCT, and then after that, they're just going to go home or go to school or whatever they're doing, and they're going to do their regular drill weekends and all that stuff as a reservist. So guys, hopefully this gave you a checklist or a better version of how to actually become Marine, what the process is looking like, what you have to get done and to accomplish, guys. But guys, if you still have any questions on the process and how it goes, guys, make sure you leave some comments down below. Let me know what they are. You can also hit me up on Instagram, whatever it may be. Just ask and I will get to you, and I will try to answer all questions that you might have, guys. If you like the video, guys, make sure to give it a thumbs up, guys. And as always, thanks for watching.